So we got a big announcement Saturday, of course. Comic-Con. I'm preparing for like some major news. I know that the Red Sonja trailer is probably going to drop today or tonight. But yeah, looking forward to some big news today. And we started off with DC started off with a big hit. In fact, DC's been actually doing the most heavy lifting. DC Comics has been doing the most heavy lifting this Comic-Con. It's like Marvel has some things here and there, and I don't doubt that Marvel will have some big announcements down the line. Marvel Comics, because the MCU stuff's going to be relegated to D23. But it looks like so far DC Comics is doing the one that's doing all like the real like comic lifting here. Although I do imagine that hopefully we'll get some cool stuff from the other companies. Having said that, though, let's talk about some DC announcements right now. We have the announcement for 2 animated films. One that we kind of expected was coming, and another one that was just like, holy shit, well, that's happening. And what are those exactly? Well, we're getting Crisis on Infinite Earths, the animated film, and Watchmen. Yeah, Watchmen's getting an animated film. So let's talk about Crisis first. Crisis on Infinite Earths is obviously what they've been building to in the new DC animated universe films, which, if I'm going to be real with you guys, I have not really liked. And I didn't like the previous movie universe before either. Like, a lot of it was just kind of like edgelord stuff. Even Apocalypse War, I was like, this seems really mean-spirited in what Zack Snyder wanted to do. I will say, though, that the Constantine short and Long Halloween were good. Everything else has just been meh. Just meh. Even the new the Justice League Warworld movie, I was like, you wanted to adapt the Philip Kennedy Johnson story, but you took nothing from it. Congratulations. You could have done a really cool animated film, but instead you just went another direction. Alright, cool. Now, obviously, I'm talking about the animated universe. Gotham by Gaslight was really cool, but that was its own continuity. So, but like I said, the big thing that has been building since Justice League, the Justice Society movie, I should say, that we've been building to the Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like, that's been obvious, obviously with Psycho Pirate and everything else. Now, this movie's probably going to be big. Now, we don't know if it's going to be 2 parts or if it's going to be 1 part. But what we do know is that this is going to be like what I think the big end game is going to be for this animated continuity. At least that's what I feel like. I could be totally wrong, and they could do more stuff afterwards. But yeah. Now the big question is: are they going to have other animated shows show up? Obviously, with multiverse stuff, you always want to have those big nostalgia bombs drop. So, what animated universes could we see? Maybe get a cameo of Batman the Animated Series, because we won't have him voiced, because Kevin Conroy's no longer with us. We could get Tim Daly's Superman, or I prefer George Newbern. Not to say anything bad about Tim Daly's Superman, I just prefer George Newbern as my voice for Superman. So maybe get him as Injustice Superman, or more preferably the 90s cartoon Superman. Maybe we could get My Adventures as Superman, the original Teen Titans show, or a cameo from Teen Titans Go. Maybe... who knows? Like, really, like, I'm throwing out, like, I'm not saying that's confirmed that we get other animated shows in this Crisis movie. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of expecting that. Like, that's what I'm kind of thinking will happen, is that they'll drop, like, a big Crisis on Infinite... they'll do, like, just Nostalgia Bomb and do other animated shows throughout. Could they bring, like, shows like Young Justice and things like that? So, yeah. That's kind of where my headspace is kind of at right now. Is that's where now, could it be good? Yeah, all things have the potential to be good. But as it stands, I'm just kind of like, I was excited before, but after seeing the track record of all these movies and how like unimpressed I've really been with a lot of them, I'm just kind of like, meh, just meh. Now, the other thing, however, has got me interested. Kind of, and that is the Watchmen animated movie. Is this going... Now, the big thing is, are they going to split it up to 2 parts? or are they going to have it one big animated feature? Because there's no way you could get away with the hour. Well, to be fair, the DC animation department and the movies have actually gotten longer. But I don't know if you can tell the whole story in 90 minutes. In the 90-minute, I don't know if you could tell the whole story in 90 minutes. Also, are they also going to make unnecessary changes like they've done with other DC story arcs because they just want to make it so, they've read the comic so many times they know what happens. We'll just make it completely different, but yeah. And to be fair, that's what they did with the movie, and I'm going to give you guys a hot take. I like the movie more than the comic. I know, very hot take, very controversial. But the thing of it is that I understand and acknowledge that the comic has importance. That is one of the most influential, important comics of our time, probably in the medium's history. I am not going to take that away from Watchmen, but for me personally, I just could not get into it. I really couldn't get into it, and I felt like the story wasn't it just wasn't for me, personally. The movie I do acknowledge it's not a good movie. I fully acknowledge that that's not a good movie, but I personally like the ending the ending instead of an alien invasion, of having it be Dr. Manhattan. It made more sense to me, and also the performances were really good. Too bad Zack Snyder fooled us all into thinking he could do good stuff with DC properties. Yep, this chair is very unstable, and I'm not rocking back on force on purpose. This is actually happening. But yeah. But if you enjoy Watchmen, if you love Watchmen, that's totally fine. I'm not going to take anything away from you on that. I'm just saying, for me, I've never been a big fan of the Watchmen medium. I will say I have liked some of the stories from before Watchmen. I think the best one, before Watchmen, let's be real, was not necessary. The only one that was really considered necessary was the Minutemen story by Darwin Cook. And it's Darwin Cook, so of course I have to read that. I had to read that. And it was the only one, if you were really going to do a before Watchmen book and read it, Minutemen was the best idea, and having it done by Darwin Cook in there. Also, can I just have a sidebar real quick? I don't know what it is, but everything I read with Darwin Cook, someone gets shoots themselves in the head. Every comic I've read, every Darwin, 99% of Darwin Cook comics I've read, he just blows someone in that comic is going to blow their own brains out. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that's a running theme in Cook's comics. Maybe that's how I don't know if that's subliminally how he felt writing comics. Who knows? That's a running thing. If you read a Darwin Cook comic in any capacity, someone's going to shoot themselves in the head. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, I digress. I digress. Getting back on topic, I am interested in this. I am curious to see how they'll do this and what they will do for it, animation-wise. If we could, I will say this. If we could do anything with this film, can we have Jackie Earle Haley come back to voice Rorschach? I think he was the best cast for this, and I think it would be really cool to have him voice Rorschach again. I don't know if they'll and the entire cast was really good. I will say that the entire movie cast was very well done. But obviously they're probably not going to get everyone to voice those characters again. I just would prefer to have if I could only have one actor come back and voice the character, it would be Jackie Earle Haley as Rorschach, because he was phenomenal in that role, and he's also a pretty good voice actor. So I think it would be really cool to have him do the voice for this character. But yeah, am I going to go out of my way to watch Watchmen the animated movie? I don't know, but we'll see. I want to see what the animation. You really need to have some good animation behind it, because, yeah, I would. It's an important book, and I know you can't copy that art style from Dave Gibbons, but still, you got to bring your A game. You can't just use the art style you've been using for the DC animated films. You got to bring some effort in here for Watchmen. Anyway, excuse me. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this announcement for Christ's Son Infinite Earths and the Watchmen animated film? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? And what actors would you like to see in here? And would you like to see anyone brought back from the movie to voice the characters in the animated film? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.